Hello there, my crafty friends. It's Ashley Pfeiffer, the maker behind Stamped AF. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and this week, I wanted to show you this card. It is featuring the Feels Like Home stamp set. You can get this for free in Canada with a $60 order before taxes and shipping. And I also wanted to take this opportunity to mention that I have a $600 party open right now. It will close as soon as all spots are full, but it requires 10 people to place a $60 order. You will get your choice of Sale-A-Bration item, and all of the host rewards will be raffled off. So there'll be a 50% item. There will be monetary value so that you can choose a bundle. You can choose whatever you'd like. It's fantastic, and I don't want you to miss out on this opportunity. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. And just in case you didn't catch my video on Friday, I did a fun background technique, and I've got a few more samples that will be coming with this, but I used window sheet, which I know is very apparent right now because of all my lighting, but it's like an invisible spinner wheel. So this was the card that I demonstrated. This was one that I showed. This was the first version that I did, but the background was so intense that I'm like, I don't think I can do this again. So that's version 2. And then this was where it all started. So I'm contemplating doing this one as a video. Please let me know in the comments below if you would like to see this as a video. It's the same premise as this, but if you'd like to see it with the Counting Sheep stamp set and the sheep dies, which you can get free with a $60 order. You can get the stamp set for a $60 order, and you can get the dies for a $60 order. So if you have an order of 120 that you'd like to put in, one, you can get both of these for free, but you can also take 2 spots in my $600 party, and then your chances of winning the 50% off item it's just increased, right? So it's win, 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 win. Okay, so without further ado, we are going to make this. It's a very simple card. It's coloring, and that is the most effort. So we need a piece of the Bloom Where You're Planted DSP. You can see that this is the brick pattern. Just going to turn on this light so we don't have so much shadow. Now we'll have more glare. Okay, so this is 4 by 5 1/4. I have a side folding basic white card base, and then I've got a piece of just basic white cardstock, and we are just going to stamp this in Memento, and then we're going to color. But so with this stamp set, I like to use my Stamparatus because it is a very detailed stamp. It is red rubber, so we don't need that, but there are a lot of details in here, and I'm going to give you a spoiler. This month's Stamping Society, I used this stamp set, and it is a super fun card that I think you're going to want to make too. So I thought I might as well use it while it's around, right? Because there aren't a whole lot of samples floating around using this one. And I think I would prefer it a little more without the bike, because I think it could be an any season kind of card. You can see I had a little bit of, we're going to flip that over. I used StazOn on it earlier, so there was still a little bit liquid. Little bit of liquid. Can't speak. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up with Memento because I'm using Stampin' Blends. And I find these trees are very tricky to get a good inking on the first try, so give them some extra special attention. Oh, that one's a little dark. We're gonna try that one more time. This cardstock was just doomed from the beginning, wasn't it? Okay, so we're gonna put that down. Try that again. Because there's so much detail, it can kind of get lost if there's too much ink. But you see what I mean? You either get too much or not enough. Just adding a little bit just in the middle of that door. Don't like it. Third try's a charm. This is just to let you know that it happens to us all. So instead of rubbing it, I'm going to press it. Fingers crossed. I would have loved to have used watercolor paper, but I'm all out. Good enough. I attended Backstage, which is a leaders only event this weekend, and one of the presenters said, sometimes you just have to know when good enough is good enough. She is a recovering perfectionist, kind of like myself. So, you know, that's a huge thing when it's like good enough is good enough. Because I could keep using cardstock all night to get this perfect, but it doesn't need to be. I'll fix anything with my coloring. Okay, so that's done. And I'm not using a sentiment from in the set. Truth be told, when I was putting a sentiment in my sample card, I kind of forgot that there were sentiments on here. So maybe we'll use one of those this time because there are some great ones. Can't thank you enough, missing you, your friendship feels like home to me, and I'm always and forever here for you. Maybe we'll use the your friendship feels like home to me. So on my sample, I went big. I just received this stamp set in an order last week, and it's thinking, thanks, and peace. So they're sending thanks, thinking of you, peace on earth, and boo. I love a good big sentiment, so I use thinking of you in cinnamon cider. But I mean, we could always put the your friendship feels like home to me in a little banner there, but I really wanted the image to do the talking this time. And then this time I thought, but I might change my mind, that we would use the new host set that's called In Your Words. So in Canada, which like I've mentioned is where I am, and I can only sell product within my own market. So if you're interested in the $600 party, but you're not in Canada, unfortunately, I can't help you. This stamp set in Canada, you can get it for free with an order that is $375. And as you're picking your job off the floor, part of doing a bigger party like the $600 party is to have one of these as one of the prizes. So if you yourself don't have an order of $375, and I'd like to say I'm not among those, but I am, you can gather a couple of friends and put an order in that way. So it doesn't have to be 375 of your own dollars. So for this coloring, I am going to speed through it because there's nothing fancy. I'll show you the colors that I'm using though. So for the brick, and you can see I added some more up here. So I colored in the bricks, and then I just used my Stampin' Write marker, the basic black one, to color that in. So I used dark Cajun Craze and light and dark cinnamon cider. And then it looks like I brought in a little bit of the light Cajun Craze. So for the trees, obviously green leaves. So just use what you have. So I'm going to speed through this, and I'll see you in a minute or two. So you can see that you don't need to do an outline of every single brick. I felt like I maybe went a little overboard there. But the next step we are going to do, and I realized I shouldn't have done my little color sample there, but we're going to tear, and we need to tear towards us. If we tear away from us, we're not going to get this white edge, and that's what I'm looking for. You can use a tear ruler, and I would suggest leaving a little bit of white so that you've got some mat around here. But keep it as organic as you can. And I think because there's so much white on this side, we will mat it over here. And I think we might do a sentiment on the front and then one on the inside. Now you can see I've used one of the gold brushed metallic dots there, and then on my little cork banner. So let's do that. I've got a bunch of little scraps of cork, so I'm just going to trim that. And you can banner it with a punch or with just your scissors. Choice is yours. So we're going to use a large one on the banner and a small one on the door. I had them reversed the first time, and whoa, it looked really big on here. I'm going to pop that up. Sorry, I'm kind of going all over the place, aren't I? If this is your first time here, welcome. If you don't know me, I'm not an A to Z type thinker. I take the roundabout way to get to everything. So if that's not your style, I might not be your cup of tea, and I'm not going to be everyone's. I know that. I don't think any of us can be everything to everyone. Okay. Kind of going ass backwards here. Bass backwards. Pretty sure we've had Stamp & Seal for like a year now, and I still struggle. I do find that if you do that little kind of check mark at the end, like you had to do with one of the older adhesives, which was kind of just at my starting time. Well, that did not go on straight. Let me show you a tip, because I had to do this yesterday. So if you get it where it's not quite where it needs to be, use a piece of dental floss and just lift it up. Sorry if you can't see this, I need my belly as leverage. Okay, so just lift. Well, you're basically flossing your paper. And then it will be so easy to lift as long as you don't push it back down. And we have a second shot. So usually what I say is get your similar margin on the three sides and then just kind of let it fall down. And there we go. We didn't just waste a piece of DSP and card base. Short, I'm just going to use my tailored tag punch. Try to center it in the middle. You know what? Pretty good, considering how short it was and how big this is. So I will use a little bit of liquid glue for that. We'll pop up our colored piece. We'll put on some of this crumb cake ribbon, do a sentiment, and we're done. And I can turn my fan back on. It's so hot in here. My husband has, oh, I wanted to do it the other way, didn't I? My husband has the air conditioning set to like 21, and it's actually 21 outside, but there's wind out there, so it's actually nicer outside. It's hot. That'll do. There we go. Let's put on our brush dots before I forget. So the large one is going on the banner. The little one is going on here. It's almost like it's a little knocker. I just thought it was cute. And the image that's in the stamp set is, it's pretty hard to keep it just yellow. You see that? It is a knocker, but it's tricky. Some crumb cake twine, and this is part of the Essentials pack. We're gonna do a triple. So whatever length you're going to do, just triple that. Cut your ends, because you don't want to cut a bow when all is said and done. And then we are just going to loop it. Try and keep your loops together, because if you lose one, the easiest thing to do is just start over, because it will be impossible. See? Now if you find that twisting it helps, by all means. stands the charm. It was with stamping, so why not for the bow, right? I really like the idea of a clean front with nothing on there. So let's do Your Friendship Feels Like Home to Me. But I really don't want you to miss out on this In Your Words host set. It is only during Sale-A-Bration, so you only have until September 30th to get your hands on it. So the pressure is on. If you have a $60 order or a $120 order ready, send it to me and I would be happy to add you to a spot or two in my $600 party. Now, you may have heard of $1,000 parties before. That one I think is maybe a little more common, but because it's Sale-A-Bration and back to school and so many other things, I thought it might just be easier to keep it where it's a $60 order versus a $100 order. But again, you have the option to take up more than one spot. Okay, Your Friendship Feels Like Home to Me. Isn't that sweet? And then let's add this little plant, because why not? We can, right? So I just want to show you this again, because I think I've done it twice now in this video and not shown you or taken the time to explain what I'm doing. So Stampin' Up! Red rubber stamps are cling mount. So they come the way that you saw. They have their release paper on the back, and then you get this sheet and you basically just match them up. Now, I go back and forth. Sometimes I take all of them off and mount them all right away, and other times I just mount them as I need them. And because I have so many new products right now, I'm just mounting the ones I need as I need them. I think we're gonna do that over there. I'm kind of thinking now I should have done it on the bottom, but let's do it on the bottom on this one. We're gonna go bottom left corner. I don't know about you, but when I write a greeting in my cards, I always put my name down here. That looks really juicy, doesn't it? Okay, so that is all. I hope that you enjoyed that. If you would like to get your hands on that Feels Like Home stamp set, or the In Your Words, or both, then let me know. And if you have any questions about any of the products I've used, if you'd like to know more about my $600 party, please do not hesitate to reach out. That is what I'm here for. And I thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon, my crafty friends. Bye.